Do you feel overwhelmed, running on an invisible treadmill, chasing a finish line that seems to move further and further away, anxious about the future, frustrated with the present, and sometimes haunted by the mistakes of the past? You are not alone. In a world that glorifies incessant productivity and unattainable perfection, peace has become the ultimate luxury. We seek solutions everywhere, in new organizational apps, in self-help books, in promises of life optimization. But what if I told you that the map to get out of this mental labyrinth is not a new invention, but a timeless wisdom, revealed more than 3,000 years ago in the midst of a symbolic battlefield? In this video, we won't just scratch the surface, we will dive deep. This is a masterclass in 4 acts, unveiling the secrets of the Bhagavad Gita for the modern mind. Together, we will learn to dismantle the architecture of anxiety, to master the fire of anger, to find a deep purpose in the chaos of life, and, most importantly, to rediscover the unshakable truth about who you really are. Stay with me on this journey, because each step builds on the previous one, and the final revelation is the golden key that unites everything else, transforming knowledge into lived wisdom. Let's begin. Our first act takes us directly to the root of modern anxiety, our unhealthy obsession with results. We live in the age of metrics. We are quantified, classified, and compared from the moment we are born. Grades in school, followers on social media, sales targets at work, the number on the scale. This culture teaches us a dangerous lie, that our value is tied to what we achieve, and so we become addicted to external validation, living in a constant state of fear of not being good enough, fear of failing, fear of being judged. Burnout is not just physical fatigue, it is an exhaustion of the soul, tired of chasing a standard that is never satisfied. It is precisely at this point of paralysis that we find the warrior Arjuna on the battlefield of the Gita. He, the greatest of all archers, is frozen, not for lack of strength or skill, but because his mind is tortured by calculating the consequences, by the what-ifs of every possible outcome. His anguish is our anguish, and the answer from his guide, Krishna, is the first pillar of our freedom. He says, "You have a right to your actions, but never to their results." Let's unpack this sentence, as it is the most powerful antidote to performance anxiety. This doesn't mean being indifferent or lazy. On the contrary, it is a call to excellence in the present moment. It means that your true responsibility, your only field of control, is the quality of your effort. It is the integrity of your intention. It is the dedication you put into the now. What happens next? The applause, the criticism, the success, the failure belongs to a much larger tapestry of variables that is completely outside of your control. Think of a gardener. The gardener's dharma is to prepare the soil with care, plant the best seed he has, water it consistently, and protect the plant from weeds. He has full control over these actions. However, he has no control over the storm that may come, the unexpected pest, or the exact amount of sun the sky will offer. The wise gardener finds his joy and purpose in the act of tending the garden, not in the exact count of the fruits he will harvest. He knows that if he does his part with excellence, the fruits will come, but his peace does not depend on it. This is how we should live. Focus on being the best student, not on the A+. Focus on being the most dedicated professional, not on the promotion. Focus on being the most loving partner, not on controlling the other's reaction. When you free yourself from the need to control the uncontrollable, something magical happens. The energy you used to spend on worry and anxiety is now channeled into the action itself, paradoxically making your performance better. So, how to practice this today? Try the conscious surrender exercise. For any task that causes you anxiety, take a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns. In the first, my effort, list everything under your control. Research for the presentation, practice my speech, dress professionally. In the second column, the outcome, list what is not under your control. The boss's reaction, getting the contract, the opinions of others. Read the first column and commit to doing your best. Then read the second column and, out loud, say, I surrender this. I detach from this. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders. You are not your result. You are your effort. Repeat this until it becomes your truth. This is the foundation for building a serene mind. But what about when the disturbance comes, not from the outside, but from an explosion within? We've all been there, at that boiling point where reason dissolves and a volcanic force takes over. An unfair word, accumulated frustration, a trigger that pushes a deep button within us. In seconds, we transform into versions of ourselves we don't recognize. Sharp words are thrown, bridges are burned, and when the smoke clears, we are left alone with the wreckage and a corrosive regret. Anger is one of the most powerful and misunderstood human emotions. Physiologically, it's a fight or flight response. Our reptilian brain takes control, flooding our system with adrenaline. The prefrontal cortex, the rational part of our brain, literally gets less blood flow. We become, for all intents and purposes, temporarily less intelligent. That's why, in the heat of the moment, we act in ways that later seem insane. Anger is not just a feeling, it's a state of neurological hijacking. The Bhagavad Gita describes this destructive progression with surgical precision. Krishna warns Arjuna about the danger of not mastering the senses, explaining the path that leads to ruin. From anger arises delusion. From delusion, the loss of memory. From the loss of memory, the destruction of intelligence. And from the destruction of intelligence, one perishes. Let's analyze this prophecy. From anger arises delusion. In the moment of anger, the other person ceases to be a complex human being with their own pains and becomes an obstacle, an enemy. We create a distorted narrative where we are the righteous victim. From delusion, the loss of memory. We forget the love we felt for the person. We forget the good times. We forget our own values of compassion and patience. From the loss of memory, the destruction of intelligence. With the memory of who we are and who the other is erased, we lose the ability to solve the problem. The only solution the mind sees is to attack, to hurt, to destroy. And with that, one perishes, not physically, but our wise and compassionate identity is lost, giving way to a primitive reactor. So, how do we escape this prison? Krishna doesn't tell us to suppress anger, which would be useless and even harmful. He offers us a tool of unimaginable power, the pause. Between the stimulus, the word that hurt you, and your response, your outburst, there is a space. Initially, this space might seem as thin as a sheet of paper, but with practice, it can become a vast sanctuary. This space is your freedom. It is the place where you stop being a reactor and become a creator of your reality. To make this practical, let's create the PAUSE protocol. Pause. As soon as you feel the spark of anger, stop everything. Don't say a word. Don't move. Just stop. Acknowledge. Recognize the sensation in your body. Say to yourself, anger is here. I feel it in my chest, in my hands. Don't judge. Just observe it, like a scientist observes a phenomenon. Use the breath. Take deep breaths, at least 3 times. Imagine the air entering cool and leaving hot, carrying the initial intensity of the emotion with it. This reoxygenates your brain and reactivates your prefrontal cortex. Survey the cause. Ask yourself, what is underneath this anger? Is it fear? Is it pain? Is it a sense of injustice? Often, anger is just the tip of the iceberg of a more vulnerable emotion. Engage with wisdom. Now, with clarity restored, choose. You might need to withdraw from the conversation. Express your feelings calmly. When you said that, I felt hurt. Or realize the issue doesn't deserve your energy. This pause is your superpower. It's where you stop transferring your pain and start transforming it. Now, with a calmer mind, how do we deal with the frustrations the world presents to us? We now arrive at the challenge of dealing with the external world. You have applied your best effort, you have remained calm, and still, life presents you with a no. The promotion went to someone else, the relationship ended, the project failed. It is in this moment that despair and victimhood can set in. We start to think, why does this always happen to me? The universe is against me. Nothing ever works out. We create a script for our lives, and when reality deviates from it, we feel a deep sense of loss and injustice. This human need for control and certainty is one of our greatest sources of suffering. We want guarantees. We want a clear map from point A to point B. But life rarely works in a linear fashion. It is organic, mysterious, and often its plans for us are far grander than our own. It is here that the Gita offers us one of its most comforting and profound lessons. The perspective it invites us to adopt is revolutionary. Difficulties, closed doors, and rejections are not evidence of your failure or of divine punishment. Instead, the Gita tells us to consider them as redirections and protections, a process of transformation and purification. Think of life as an incredibly intelligent cosmic GPS. You set a destination, but along the way, there's an accident or a traffic jam that you can't see. The GPS doesn't say, you have failed. It calmly says, recalculating route. That closed door, that no that hurt so much, might be your soul's GPS telling you, route blocked ahead, I am taking you on a safer, more beautiful path that you cannot yet see. How many times, looking back, Have you realized that the job you didn't get saved you from a toxic culture, or that the end of a relationship made space for you to rediscover yourself and find a more aligned love? Today's rejection is often tomorrow's protection, and the process of purification challenges are the soul's gym. They force us to develop muscles we didn't know we had: resilience, patience, compassion, creativity. Life isn't breaking you, it's polishing you into a gem. The pressure you feel is turning coal into a diamond. The pain is not without purpose. It is making you stronger, wiser, more prepared for the next level of your journey. To internalize this trust, practice the redirection inventory. Take a notebook and list 3 major failures or disappointments from your past. For each one, write down at least one positive thing that arose as a direct consequence of that event. Perhaps you learned a valuable lesson, met someone important, or discovered a new strength in yourself. This exercise will give you proof from your own life that the principle of redirection is real. Trusting the grander plan is not about being passive. It's a co-creative dance. You do your part with excellence. Act 1. Manage your reactions with wisdom. Act 2. And then you surrender the outcome with faith, accepting that the flow of life has its own intelligence. But for this trust to be truly unshakable, it needs an even deeper foundation. It needs the answer to the final question: who are you? Who is the I that strives, that feels anger, that gets disappointed? Behind all the layers of roles we play, professional, child, friend, and all the adjectives we give ourselves: successful, fail, calm, stressed, who are we in our essence? This is the most important question, because the answer is the foundation of all inner peace. The greatest battle we face is not against the world, but against the voice inside our own mind, the inner critic. This voice is a tireless recording of all our flaws, fears, and insecurities. It compares us to others, judges us mercilessly, and convinces us that our worth is conditional. You will only be worthy of love if you are successful. You only deserve respect if you are perfect. This belief is the source of all our struggle. It is to heal this fundamental wound that the Bhagavad Gita offers us its most liberating truth. It tells us that this identity we have built, based on performance and failures, is an illusion. Our true nature is something far more sublime and indestructible. The ancient wisdom assures us, your soul was designed from love. Nothing is so broken that it cannot be healed. The philosophy of the Gita calls this essence Atman, the self, the soul, and it says that the Atman is a spark of the divine, of the universal. This means that at your core, you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or the circumstances of your life. You are the consciousness that observes all of it. Let's use a powerful metaphor. You are the sky, vast, blue, and eternally at peace. Your thoughts, emotions, successes, and failures are the clouds. Some clouds are white and fluffy, joy, success. Others are dark and stormy, sadness, anger, failure. The clouds come and go. They can completely cover the sky, making us forget it is there, but they can never, ever stain or damage the sky. The sky remains untouched, always present. Your job is not to fight the clouds, but to remember that you are the sky. Self-criticism happens when you identify with a dark cloud. Believe that it is all that you are. Self-acceptance is remembering your vastness, allowing the clouds to pass, knowing they do not define your nature. This perception finally allows us to differentiate guilt from shame. Guilt is the cloud that says, I did something wrong. It is useful. It guides us toward correction. Shame is the storm that screams, I am wrong. It is toxic and drowns us. The Gita invites us to abandon shame forever. As our fundamental identity, the blue sky is incapable of being wrong. To practice this remembrance, use the sky affirmation meditation. When the inner critic attacks, close your eyes. Visualize yourself as an infinite blue sky. See the self-critical thoughts as dark clouds passing by. Don't fight them, just watch them float and dissipate. As you repeat to yourself, I am the sky. The clouds are just visitors. My essence is peace. When you anchor yourself in this truth, the magic happens. The need for external validation diminishes because you find an unconditional source of worth within yourself. You become truly free. And so, our 4-act journey reaches its peak. We see now that these are not 4 separate ideas, but an interconnected system for a fulfilling life. Act 4 is the foundation, the remembrance of your unshakable identity as the sky. With this foundation, you can practice Act 1, detached action, because you know your worth does not depend on the result, on the clouds. With this calm, you gain the power of Act 2, the conscious pause, observing the cloud of anger pass by without identifying with it. And with this inner resilience, you can face Act 3, trust in the grander plan, knowing that even storms serve to water the earth. This is not intellectual knowledge, it is an invitation to daily practice. It is a map to return home, to the peace that already exists within you. Start small. Choose one of these acts to focus on this week. Do not forget who you are. Live from that place of strength, love, and wisdom. This is the true art of living fully. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Which of these acts resonated most with you? Share your journey in the comments. Save this video for when you need a reminder.